Hello, everyone. My name is Wade the Wallaby, and as you noticed, I reached 100 subscribers. Thank you all for appreciating and standing for 100 people that have been supported for me. Now, let's go back in time to when I used to have 100 subscribers before I was terminated. And that was, of course, possibly maybe in 2016 or 2017. No matter what the cause was, I'm not going to celebrate very politely because I already celebrated 100 subscribers. My maximum subscribers was 126 subscribers. But that doesn't mean that this channel will be not used that much, as I will be deleting this until I get my other channel back. I will be backing up all the other videos. The majority of videos that already been on the other channel would not be existed. As a result, it will take some years for this processy. Now, as as I stated before about the Xbox Live, there are no updates whatsoever. But as for this 100 not special event, I would really celebrate if I reach 1,000 subscribers. That is the main goal of all of my history, and I have never reached more than 126 subscribers. If I reach that goal, which even though it was probably 130 subscribers, I would still try to make sure my channel survives as long as possible. And most of the YouTubers just subscribe for no reason and they just leave behind. Most of them that were the previous subscribers that have subscribed to me were subscribed to me. Mostly people from school, but I haven't heard anything from them in a long time. Either they're gone or something else. Now, of course, sometimes YouTube might remove a subscriber, and if that happens, I will put this on private like I did before. Um, until, I have 100 subscribers again, I will unprivatize this live stream. That's how I worked before, and I'll just keep the tradition as well as forward. Now, the future of this channel will be short, as possibly maybe even 5 years, um, maybe even 3 years at best, depending on my state of health and a state of insanity. And because I have a warning that is still on my permanent record, really pisses me off because that was basically in the beginning of my depression, and it's just is so awful for me. That's why I need to get rid of this channel because this is just a temporarily channel, but it seemed like it became something else as I thought I was going to get my channel back, but it seems like that was not going to happen as it's been 4 years. I think 5 years. No, it was 4 years or 5 years. I don't know. Either way, I'm just going to possibly make more OBS recordings, but I'm too lazy to do that. And it's just that it's really hard work. And I know the OBS recordings are the best recordings that are on here. They're more popular videos that I've created. And because they're so perfect, I even made their own playlist. And I really think that me gaming and stuff on OBS is really, really popular, including me watching myself play. Um, but it's really difficult to get perfect. The only thing I got perfect, which last time I saw it had 40 views on it, which to me is a lot of views. it was perfect, you know, absolutely perfect, perfect video. The rest of it was fails, and the video was Counter Strike Condition Zero. Now, I've been over and over lots of things, and I know I sound boring, but because this was just an unexpected live stream, I decided to do it anyways. And I've been losing lots of money because of my mom, and I really can't get anything to upgrade my stuff. So there's really nothing I can do to improve my well-being. I just I just kind of feel outdated. I mean, I am outdated. I still use Windows 7, and my computer used to have Windows 10, but it caused lots of problems and it crashed badly. And I don't know. I told my dad, should I upgrade it? And he's like, well, you know, I hope you have everything backed up, which I do, um, if it allows me to. But seriously, it's just that it's so depressing to feel that all this stuff that has happened to me in a short amount of time really upsets me. Now, I will tell you the truth when I have 1,000 subscribers, maybe 200. Either way, I just, I don't know what to do. I was gonna say I'm not gonna celebrate 100, but obviously, too bad, so sad. It took 4 years to get 100 or back where I used to be. Now I'm higher ranking person than the others that have like 90 or 80 subscribers. It's just it's kind of a bit sad, and to think that I've worked so hard on. Oh, look, I got a message. Oh good. So I haven't had anything to eat yet because I don't know. And there's nothing else I can ask. So it's just ah wow, I feel so bored. I am getting a haircut on Friday, and which is tomorrow. So I would look a bit more better because my hair is too long and it is bothering me. Oh, now I'm going on again. I can't help it. Usually I'm not bored like this. It's just because that, I'm not in the priority of lots of things. And it's just that it's been it's been like 4 years. We've been through a lot. I know. We've been through a lot, and it's still been through a lot to this day. And I'm gonna have to tell you people that you just have to hold on to yourself. I know everything's gone crazy in the world, especially the United States. But I just wanted to tell you people that your depression, you have to think about your other people around you. You can't just give up your content. Like lots of YouTubers. Ever since after the virus, it really the a lot of YouTubers basically quit or just stopped for a long, long, long time. And, it really, because I guess people in their family must have died, lots of them, and it caused a lot of psychological things. It lowered the population, but it also lowered our, I should say, morality in the entire United States. And add insult to that, the most stupidest character in all of history is running our country. And it's just that the whole world is falling apart and everyone's looking at us as a weak country. And that's because our reputation has went down so bad that we're basically the most worst country to have ever lived, even though that we are a nice, beautiful country. You didn't hear anything. And it's just, I, money, prices have went so high that sooner or later we're going to stop using cents altogether in like 10 or 20 years. And then all we're going to use is maybe even a $50 bill in like 30 years, or the $100 bill. And then of course in 40 years it's going to be the 100 $200 bill. There's going to be new, like, no, it's not going to be dollar anymore. It's going to be like credit cards and stuff that will have like $1 trillion. Like in the future, our like account would be like worth like $200,000 if we made in the future money. We would basically went broke if we went to the future. We would instantly lose money and it would just be awful. And I want to prevent that. It's just that what's happening is that the economy itself is what's happening is that people that own the products are realizing that people down under them are having just a bit of money, and all they do is raise up the prices. And what happens is that it's a feedback loop. It keeps going up, and each time it goes up, people need to get more better efficient jobs, and the money goes higher and higher and higher, and they will keep going higher until there's not enough, I should say, balance to it. Eventually, sooner or later, there's going to be a massive economy crash. It would be than worse than the virus, worse than uh, the Great Depression, because everyone would basically, the money would just vanish out of thin air, literally, possibly. And what will happen that the entire world, including the United States, would, especially the United States, if that president is electing again, here's what's going to happen. Prices will continue up, and he will basically say that he will lower the prices, and the prices go down. But he's not doing it. It's just that what's happening is that he's trying to get his credit to go up, and that's just wrong. And people that don't have a good mind, they basically have a conclusion. You see, the problem is that you used to pay like 15 cents for gas years ago, and now it's like $6 now. And I'm not going to say anything. Only Biden did, he did nothing. In fact, he actually did negative 5% of something. He blew up the pipelines. Um, so I guess we're terrorisms now. I guess we're terrorists. Thought that was supposed to be eradicated, but that's terrorism. You can't go and, hey, he's like, oh, we'll blow up the mainstream pipeline and it will happen. And then like a day later, a bunch of methane came out, and he's like, hey, we should make sure we should have no carbon dioxide, no methane. Blah 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 blah. You know, are you stupid? You just blew up this Troy pipeline, and all that methane came out, and you're saying that you should. And what's happening is that he forced all of the oil production in America There's barely enough production. We can't sell. What's happening is that our oil, we have oil, we have resources. And what's happening is that here's the most fucked up thing. The reason why prices are so high is because they're from overshore. All those big ships, they need to get paid. And those ships come in from a different country. Remember, we're getting oil from a different country. And Biden's like, oh, we should have, non-gasoline, vehicles. Lots of things needs gasoline. Airplanes need gasoline. Are you really that stupid? Your Air Force One needs to have gasoline. You know, I bet your son, probably smokes a bunch of gasoline because obviously he's just a loser because he basically wastes like $10 million or even more. Biden gives money to Hunter Biden, and then he goes around and starts doing weird shit and wastes like $10 million a week, or even shorter than that. This might be false information, but in reality, all sources I heard leads to something like that. It's just being more dramatic. But it's just that Trump had enough money, and he didn't need to get paid because he didn't want to get paid because he had enough money. And that's the cool thing about it, is that that's why prices went down, is because that we didn't have to pay that much taxes. But it just really upsets me that the United States has become the most stupid country. And there's I don't think the virus eliminated more stupid people. I really think there's at least 70% stupid people. The majority of them, or 80%, are stupid. The majority of 15% are on my side. Actually, it's 5%, it seems like, but 3% to be precise. And it's just, they should have implemented rules for presidencies, but they didn't. Because I bet they knew this was going to happen. Those damn Democrats knew this was going to happen. They had this all planned out. China had all this planned out. And this doesn't make sense. And Russia is get the GTFO from the International Space Station. And next year, in January, they're leaving the ISS. There will be no more Russians. And I think because Putin is like, who the fuck why would Americans have you know, Putin, I'm going to have to get credit for him. I know that you love Ukraine, but I don't like Ukraine. As a matter of fact, I hate Ukraine. They're not helping us. All they do is just sitting around and just say, "Thank you for the money, but we're not doing anything for you." That's all they do. And this war would have never arrived if Trump was it. Trump would have stopped the war. He would have figured something out to help to help Russia to get their resources. Because what happened was Russia was low on resources and Ukraine was hogging on the resources, and Trump would have fixed that. He would have fixed that problem. But no, old man had to do things the opposite. And if I was Putin, I would be like, okay, I'm out of the International Space Station. Because who is this old man? And I didn't even know him when Obama was around. No one cared about him. He was just grabbing on that money and did nothing. The only thing he did, and that probably because praising himself, was write his name on the Curiosity rover, the placard. Now, if I go to Mars, I'm going to scrub that off because obviously he shouldn't even exist. He's like worse than Hitler. I'm saying this. Hitler is way more smarter and way more intelligent and way more strategically. I don't want to be a Naziist, but to be honest with you, Hitler was way smarter than Biden. No doubt in my mind. If they went head to head, we would have lost. I guarantee you, I would be happy if, took over our country, because that would be great. Because obviously, I don't care what that old man would say. I don't care. Because obviously, that's how much I hate him so much. He has ruined our country. He has collapsed our economy. And he's trying to blame everyone. He's saying, oh, the Russians did this, the Russians did that. No, no. The Democrats are spewing lies. And the reality is that it's just our economy. We have oil. Use it. Oh yeah. And that clacking bitch vice president. I don't know her McClellan. I don't know what her name is. I don't care. Because why I'm surprised no one has assassinated both of them. I'm surprised. Because why would you even protect? Why would you be the Secret Service and, protect the Biden? Why? Because you want that money. That's all you do. You really want to think that way? That doesn't make any sense. If I were you, I would have quit way before and probably work a plan to kick that old man's ass out of that big, luxurious place, the White House. He doesn't even deserve to be there. He should I think he should have died from old age. My mom said he would have died before he even won presidency. Nope, he's still around. And the reason why is because the Democrats are forcing him to be alive because, he's the president. I have a weird dream about him being I had a dream about our president being in my car or in the car for some reason. That was awkward. I wish it was Trump, but it wasn't. That was a weird dream. It was a nightmare, according to my mom. And people are like, oh, I should have never voted for old man. Well, too bad, because you must really love him so much. You better say that you love him, because that's what you voted him. You took so many scores on voting for him. And you better go up to say, I love you, and try to cry your eyes out while you walking back and saying, I should have never voted for him. And you should be in the media, the entire world. That way you can feel ashamed of yourself and then go in a bath of shit. That's what I feel about you. You should go into a bathtub and pour blood and shit with Ebola virus. And you should be like, I am ashamed of myself. I should not deserve to live because I have done something. Now, because I don't know why I didn't vote, they wouldn't let me to vote because I don't know. But that's how I'm so angry at the government. I'm so upset that they just makes things that are just awful. This is not how United States used to be. I have no idea what you're saying. English, please. This is English. Ukraine doesn't have a space program. Russia has a space program. So I don't care about Ukraine. And if I see a Ukraine flag, I would have basically light a match and burn it. Unless if the person used to live in Ukraine, that I accept that. But if the person has a fucking flag on their name, like on Twitter or anyone else, That's just unacceptable. That if you don't used to live, if you're not Ukrainian, you should not have that flag. That is a dangerous to society and basically racism to our country. You're basically showing off, basically, you know, you really you love Ukraine. Well, how about you go over to Ukraine instead of being an American citizen, and you should take that flag off of your name and just go away. Or you go to Russia, I mean, Ukraine. Go to Ukraine and show that Ukraine flag and become a Ukrainian civilian because you love Ukraine so much. Is that how you people work? I don't get it. And because of the war, they had to postpone the Rosalind Franklin rover. Now, at least it's not NASA, or else I would be pissed at NASA if it was. But European Space Agency are pussies. And because of the war, you know, they're like, let's just stop with, let's just postpone it because we're not going to use any Russian rockets. We're not going to use the Proton rocket, the lander for our rover. So we're just going to have to find an alternative. And get this, until 2028. They're going to launch the spacecraft in 20. Are you fucking kidding me? They've been working on this rover for 2003 and they, had everything ready and the war started and they're like, "Oh, let's just give up. Yeah, let's just see what happens. We're not going. We're all voting no." Yeah, really? By the time you get that rover, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be old and ruggedy. It's going to be all outdated and stuff. And once it gets to Mars, it's going to fail because you're probably using a shitty lander, you know, that's not going to work properly. And I don't care if Biden makes his speeches. I don't care. I don't even listen to them. The only people I listen is Trump because he is way more interesting than the old man. He is just awful, terrible. He has dementia. There's no doubt in my mind. He has dementia. Oh my god. I just just I am so angry. I think I need to take my medication. I'm just so upset. And I know that hopefully you are understanding my pain right here. And I know, oh my God, there's a lot. If you listen to Trump's speeches, you will learn a lot of stuff that the media is keeping from you. I trust Trump. I 100%, I would salute him if I worked for the Air Force or the Space Force to be precise. In fact, I would basically hug him. That's how much I love that man. He is, God, I love that man. Not in a gay sense, but I love him so much. I would sacrifice my life to save this amazing man because there are lots of things that he did, and Biden is like negative. So he basically is down under. But Trump, he did great things. He basically made South and North Korea friends for a short while. He's basically forced China or something like that to do something I forgot, but even before he was president, he did all this stuff. Even before he went to office. Because he like all the stuff. Because Obama was like, I'm lazy. I'm just gonna stay right here and just see what happens. And then like one day he's like, "Oh my god, what kind of? I don't like police. I don't like that armor and stuff. Take it away." And Trump was like, in this conversation and stuff, and he's like some person said, "Hey, we have this." Never mind. And it's like Trump's like, "Hey, what? Ask to me." He's like, "Well, we have a bunch of this armor that Obama postponed permanently," and Trump is like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And our country, our crime rate has basically went very low when Trump was around. But now, I really think people are being criminal is because of they're living in a society and suicide by cop. That way, if they do get killed by cop, maybe they won't, this and that. But I really think that's what the problem is. People are living in a condition that is just awful. If you look at Washington D.C., now I've been to Washington D.C. with my dad to see his dad. I've been to Washington. I've seen the White House. Never got to get inside of it, but I've seen the White House. I don't know why my dad, because obviously he's like, dude, there's so much money. I've been to the Smithsonian Museum, Aerospace Museum. I've been there. It was a great trip. And my experience, I don't remember. It was very high tech. But I looked at it like later on. It's so trashy. Now, of course, that was when Obama was around, but I did see Obama in person, but I was very close to him at Chicago because they closed off the roads, and me and my dad were in Chicago, and it was there was like ambulances, police cars, it was a lot of stuff, and Obama was at Chicago at the time, and but yeah, I didn't get to see him, unfortunately. Secret Service is probably looking at me like, "Oh, he's gonna do a terrorism again." Shut up. That was like years ago. What are you gonna do? Go back in time and catch me there, saying that you did something in the future? At what? Oh, that just makes me very upset and scared. But yeah, if I go back to Washington D.C. again, I'd be like, "What is this place?" I've been next to the Pentagon before, but I'll tell you the truth right now. They said no pictures, but my dad said, "Go right ahead." So go blame on my dad. He's in Montana. Go ahead, FBI or whatever your name is. Go ahead and interrogate him. I don't know. In fact, try to do that because I'm very interested what he's been doing up there. I'd like to see what he's been up to in Montana and Billings, Montana. Now, he doesn't like to be on camera that much, so I really can't show what he looks like. But maybe I will put some video that's short and maybe you can see what he looks like. But I'm gonna have to get permission from him. But he obviously will say no. But I'm just gonna probably do it anyways because he doesn't even look at my channel, and if he does, he won't because he's very focused on other things. Yeah, I've been to Chicago twice, or was it 3 times, or was it 3 hours? It was interesting. Chicago was very interesting. I've been to the Willis Tower. Yes, I've been there. Never been to New York. Never been into New York or New York City. Never been there. But I haven't seen my grandpa ever since I've been to Washington D.C. Now he of course lives over there, but I get confused because it's I don't know. Is it New Jersey? I don't know. I know you would think I'm American. I should know where the capital is, but to be honest with you, they say it's in Washington D.C., but where in is it? I think it's in New Jersey or New Hampshire. No, it's not in New Hampshire. It's somewhere of those states over there. I don't remember. Um, I do know that New Jersey and New York are right next to each other. I never been to Florida. So, never been to Florida, never been to California. I have been through above states, but I never touched them. So technically that doesn't count. So I've been in Las Vegas, been into Arizona and Nevada. Let's see here. Never been to never been to Alaska and Hawaii. My mom has been to Hawaii twice. My entire family has never been to Alaska. Yeah, interesting. My mom's been to Canada twice at Niagara Falls. Uh, I never been out of the country. No one in my family, at least I know of, has been to Mexico. Thank goodness. I do like Mexican food, especially enchiladas. Oh, I really want an enchilada right now. Oh, that sounds so delicious. But I haven't had in one in a long time. Mm, let's see. I never been to Texas. Never been to Kentucky. No, I have been mid to Kentucky because I traveled through Tennessee. I've been to Tennessee. I've been to South or North Carolina, or was it both? I think I've been to both. Yeah, I've touched the Atlantic Ocean. That was interesting. Been to Kitty Hawk. Those are my speakers. Cry some more. Uh, so so wait, if you've been in New Jersey, would that mean that you've been in New York? No. Yeah, if I did have enough money, I would do a grand tour, like, maybe like Lewis and Clark, but that would take days. Because, if you don't know who Lewis and Clark is, they're very famous people that explored our country by boat and by horses. But there were two scientists, um, and their memorial here is, their start area, which was St. Louis, which you've seen recording about the St. Louis. I think in 2012, the Mississippi River has been the lowest. And I never touch the Mississippi River. You should never touch the Mississippi River. If you do, you're dead because there's no escaping. Even if you just touch it, you go away. It's very dirty water. And there's lots of debris, like trees and all that stuff. Don't touch the Mississippi River. Don't do it. Find a river that is way more slower or like a clean stream. Of course, I've been to Coquille Mountains like 5 times or maybe even more. Um, I've I've been to Johnson's Shut-ins, which was very interesting, en route to Branson. Actually, was when we came from Branson, Missouri. Illinois is a very not boring state, but it's boring because it's all like mostly flat. There's not much mountains like in Missouri. Um, there's a lot of like granite in Missouri, and there's like lots of layers. Um, the only geology in Illinois is the bluffs, which you know they're not that tall, but they have lots of limestone. So I've been to Tennessee, Kentucky, possibly. I've been to Kansas. Never been to Michigan. I don't think I've never been to Colorado. Oregon is a useless state. I think I may have been into Virginia. No, wait, I have been to Virginia. Yeah, North and Demoman. All right. We are done.